Yeah, hey, and welcome to the current episode. And to this time, I released this episode a little bit earlier because I want to finish the park by the end of month. Maybe we have on the next Frontier livestream on YouTube special news for the upcoming DLC. I don't know, but I hope so. And we get new informations for a release in mid or late March. Yeah, fingers crossed for this. And until then, I would like to do a little recreation from Isla Nula with short episodes in between. Yo. And in this episode, we see two smaller carnivores from the DLCs, and after the episode comes the final episode, in which I would like work on the aviaries with our free-flying reptiles. May you have already noticed, I end with this mountain DLC park without two marine reptiles because I have never found a suitable location for the lagoon and I didn't find a way to include them for now. Somehow I didn't feel right to place a lagoon in this mountainous landscape, and I hope you understand me with my decision to leave the marine reptiles outside from this cool project. And yeah, it's actually a shame. This would be to only two missing dinosaurs from the Cretaceous packs. But we have so many wonderful and magnificent creatures in this park and in the last 8 episodes, and yeah, I think it's okay for now. And maybe in the next project we have a lagoon and so on, and then we see marine reptiles. But I don't know, what do you thinking about the upcoming dinosaur pack? Is it a flying reptile or a herbivore pack? Yeah, we will see. So then we have in the final episode all the missing dinosaurs from the Cretaceous DLCs and a complete Cretaceous period park. I noticed that we have almost more carnivores than herbivores. Actually, it would be cool to get more herbivores in the future. Most of the people vote for a flying reptile, what I read in polls or in comments at YouTube. And yo, what do you think? What is the next DLC impact? I cross my fingers for more herbivores, but more flying and unique reptiles with a new aviary update would be also cool. Maybe then I'll start at a new map and build a showcase for the new dinosaurs, but yeah, I wait a little bit. Unfortunately, we are missing Ceratopsia and Hadrosaurus in this current park, and I think these wonderful dinosaurs are necessary for a North American mountain park. Only then would the park feel complete to me, but maybe we get some great dinosaurs in the future. We have a lot of Ceratopsia and Hadros in-game, but not enough in my opinion. There are countless other representatives from these two dinosaur families in particular that could be very interesting for a dinosaur expansion pack. And so I miss the Lambeo, the Shantungo, or smaller Hadros, and for the Ceratopsia I vote for Albertoceratops and smaller ones like Protoceratops, Leptoceratops or Microceratops. So now I'm building the enclosure for the Conca, and also here inside a small river will run through with a fog effect in the middle, but we see this later in the time lapse. And I built another race path next to the enclosure from which visitors can then look over a lower fence. But I also placed an observation gallery so that the guests can actually walk by and observe the animals. That's back to what I'm doing here. I will place a few small rocks formations in the enclosure and then decorate with everything with plant or vegetation. And yeah, I reinforced the river window with the decorative fences item. I don't know if I should make the decorative fence completely around the enclosure or just part of the fence cover is enough. I left it like that for now, and now I'm working on stabilizing the cliff with concrete elements. It doesn't have to be a high parapet. I decorated everything with planters afterwards. And I want to have the opportunity to have a great view of the rest of the mountain park or national park in the background. and a dinosaur enclosure in both directions. And I think boundaries for the park are always very important, and take your time and place some fences or lower boundaries, or took a river or a hill or a forest and so on. And after all, we don't want any guests to fall over the cliff here on this point in my park. Yeah, that's not so good. I don't want to know how expensive the legal fees will be. Then I placed, sorry, I'm not the best joker maker. Let's come back to the time lapse. Then I placed a restaurant with a coffee shop in the corner of this map. That gives the guest also an additional inducement to come here and so on, and have a better look and a shorter way to the observation gallery from the Conca Venator enclosure. I'm very happy with how the park has developed over the last 2 months, and the conclusion is slowly coming, and you know the feeling when you stay at the beginning with your project, that sometimes you can't even imagine what it looked like at the end after a few weeks or months. That's so amazing. That's why it's nice to take the time for a park and work on it again and again, and not build a park on a weekend. Of course, you can do that. There's nothing wrong with it. But I think take your time for building. If you don't like something, wait, try again. Nobody rushes you. But larger projects with a lot of decoration and height differences and so on takes time, and usually worth in the end. Now I'm going to decorate the gap between the concrete fence, but we saw this in the time lapse. And the path, I put it with a lot of plants, and I've put a smaller metal fence in the concrete, so that they basically have a visible wire cable. And in my mind, this serves electronic protection, so that the dinosaurs don't jump over this fence here. And I had a lot of fun with these 2 habitats, and I want to give to 2 enclosures a little highlight. So I decided on artificial fork. This fork is representative as a hot spring in the Australovenator enclosure, what we see in few moments in my time lapse. And I will, using this with the water tool, draw some spots on the ground. And additionally, the fork has a very mystical look, and it looks amazing when the dinosaurs run through the fork. I think the results looks really great in the end, but please let me know what do you think about. So, I was already thinking about what we can do for the areas, but I don't think I have any highlights left. I think I've already planned and proceed a lot of nice ideas in this park, and so the last area won't have any big highlights. And I would like to take a tour of the park after the final, and probably then I close the park. I noticed that the frame rate is also reaching its limits, and for the recording is it sometimes very jerky. I decided again to create another small viewing terrace here for a better view of the enclosure, and repeat the concept of what you saw in the first few minutes on the boundary cliff. And yeah, front to the place, we need this fans items, what I have here in game. It's so nice. Okay, but enough of dreams. Then I tried to reinforce the remaining enclosure with natural barriers like with the mountain, and then I designed the waterfall. Covered him with a lot of rocks, and placed also a lot of stones in the in the rest of the enclosure. But in the end I decided to put a few trees and a small forest. Then I wanted it to look very dry and rocky, but it was not so nice for me, and I miss the trees, and I love trees, I love plants and so on, and yeah. And so we have a little contrast with the hot springs and a little forest for the Australovenator. And after then I put the fog effects near the water spots, so around there, and actually I always hope that at the end the goats would run through and be hunted by the Australovenator, but unfortunately that didn't work and I let our animals hunt for a long time, but sometimes it seems to me that the goats don't cross the river. Have you ever observed this? At the end of the video I didn't want to keep the mode recording to be long, yeah, and so I think 20 minutes are still enough for the length of the video. Sorry. And yeah, alrighty. In the middle of the enclosure, I put it later, observation dome, is it the correct word in English? I don't know. So that you can see in all directions, and I think the view is worth it. And then I finished the enclosure and let the dinosaur move in. And that you can see in a few moments, and you can enjoy the capture mode as well, if you like. And I hope you enjoy it, and even if you play vanilla, I hope I can still inspire you. Some things can be recreated in vanilla mode. Sure, it won't look exactly the same at the end, but inspiration doesn't mean copying things one-to-one. And I hope you have fun with the last few minutes and enjoy the recordings, and I hope you also like the new area with for the carnivores, what I built here in this episode. And then we'll see each other again next week. The park is slowly coming to an end and I'm looking forward to seeing the little fluff balls. And until then, you are welcome to give me more name suggestions for the little fuzzy Batman. Subscribe, write a comment or give me a like if you want, and my lovely villas, I wish you a good rest of the week, and until then, stay strong and see you next time, and yeah, enjoy the game. Okay, bye bye.